Alright, hi guys, and welcome back to the 16th episode of Mindless Podcast. Today we're doing part 2 of controversial topics. And so today we're actually going to start off with some Thanksgiving puns, even though by the time you see this, it'll be closer to Christmas than it actually is to Thanksgiving. But guess what? It's Thanksgiving for us. We woke up early for this. Or at least me and Seneca woke up early for this. These two wake up at a normal time. So yeah, we're just gonna do puns. And there's no riddles, but yeah, Heather and Eva.
I would like to say that I had to wake up at like 9:30 so I could get to this recording session at 10, and that is early for me.
Oh, okay. So Eva's just the early bird. She's the normal one out of the group.
Yeah, Eva's the one with a consistent sleep schedule.
So to clarify for the viewers, Seneca was late, so while we didn't think she would make it. So while we were waiting, Heather decided to draw a picture for her, and we're gonna use that.
So Thanksgiving puns, go for it.
Yes, Heather, would you like to start?
I've lost the pun page. You have to give me a second. I lost it when I was pulling up the photo. Yeah. I can start. What kind of keys can't open doors? Turkeys.
Just silence and then uniquely saying turkey. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Arthur.
Arthur who? Arthritis?
Arthur, any leftovers?
I like arthritis better.
I like Seneca's.
These are so bad, Eva. Why was the Thanksgiving soup so expensive? Y'all aren't gonna ask why?
I said
Why?
Oh, I didn't hear you. It's because it had 24 carrots.
These are so bad.
I know, these are like I mean, not on the spot right now, but like when I come up with bad puns, they're better than these. They're like not even clever.
They're not as forced.
These are bad.
I don't get number 6. I don't understand it.
Which one's that one?
What did the turkey say to the turkey hunter on Thanksgiving Day?
Oh yeah,
Oh, because it's pretending to be a duck, so the hunter doesn't shoot it. That's a stretch.
It really is.
Is that a pun? I don't think that's a pun.
Oh, I like number 7. What's the best song to sing when preparing your Thanksgiving turkey? All about that baste. That's like one of the puns I would use.
I'm gonna put so many crickets over all of this. Just crickets the entire time.
Oh, that's not very good.
What does Thanksgiving have in common with Halloween?
What?
Goblins!
I didn't actually catch that. What did you say?
Goblins?
I didn't actually... Goblins?
Goblins. Get it? Gobble.
Oh, that's a while. Okay.
Listen. Okay. My friends told me to stop making all of these bad Thanksgiving puns. But I told them I couldn't quit cold turkey.
Is cold turkey like a common saying?
Yeah, it's like, when you try and, like, quit, like, something like smoking without, like, just you immediately stop smoking instead of, like, trying to wean yourself off of it. It's, like, a notoriously difficult way to...
turkey?
It's just a saying. It's just, like, a phrase. It's, like, quitting something cold turkey means, like, doing it immediately without easing into it.
Alright, so whoever made up that saying first, you will be seeing me. What time I get that time portal or whatever the heck it is, I'm gonna come and kill you. Because that makes no sense. At least most things, like, most
things don't make any sense.
Like, hold your horses, that sort of kind of makes sense. Because, like, I read this thing about it. Because you hold the horses with a stable, that means be stable. Like, most things have, like, a sort of kind of something that makes sense. But this one doesn't. So whoever the heck you are, you're going to see a visit from me. Even though you're probably not alive right now.
Melanie, I'm sure there's some reason behind it that you just haven't looked up.
Well, I guess I will see when I go, like, meet that person and be like, hey, what does cold turkey mean? And if they don't have a good explanation for it...
Oh, yeah, I like this one. So, if April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Allergies.
You missed my punchline. It was pilgrims.
No, sorry? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the Mayflower. If April showers bring May flowers... Yeah. That one was a good one, but then you talked right as I delivered the punchline, and then it fell flat.
No, it was.
Why
it
did
was
the turkey
okay.
play the drums in his band? Because he already had drumsticks.
That was really good. Okay, I'll give it to you. That one makes
Please
sense.
give me those pity laughs.
Are you
Please.
kidding? I skipped that one because I thought it was. I didn't like it.
Oh, it did not get Heather's approval.
Apparently,
What music
jeez.
did,
She's harsh.
what kind of music did the Pilgrims like? Plymouth Rock.
I don't know if I get that one, but
Just
it's like
so many
not
awkward
smart.
pauses.
I enjoy the awkward laughs more than the actual puns.
Mhm.
Wow.
I love the silence that comes after, and then one of us goes, "Oh shoot, I guess we should laugh."
Oh, I also like this one. What would you get if you crossed a turkey with a ghost? A poltergeist.
A what?
A
A
poltergeist.
A poster
Like a
what?
poltergeist. Like, you know what a poltergeist is?
Just silence, and then Heather just saying the punchline over and over. Guys, like a poltergeist. Do you get it?
No.
Is that a word?
Melanie asked what, so I repeated myself.
I'm confused.
Toast. Toast.
Yeah, okay, the rest of these are just like so bad I'm not even gonna deign to say
Oh,
them.
so they're
I
worse.
already turned off my phone.
It
I'm
gets
done.
worse.
I'm
They're just
done.
they're
Alright.
just not really funny. You're like, oh, I guess that technically counts
It
as
makes
a
sense,
pun.
but it's not worthy of being included. We're gonna start with mine, I guess. We're just gonna go down the list. And mine, I feel like, isn't as relevant right now because no one really goes on airplanes. But does the person in the middle of the airplane seat get both armrests? Like the 3-seaters, does the person in the middle get the 2 arm seats, and then the other ones get the ones on the sides?
You
feel
shouldn't
like-
get both because that's kind of rude. But then, like, which one do you get? Because then you're gonna steal from someone. Oh no, wait. Does the outside one? Is it like seat and then an armrest? How many armrests? Are there?
There's
Yeah.
4 armrests, 3 seats.
So it's
Okay.
like one person gets 2 armrests, but who is that person? It's sort of the same. It's like the same idea with like seats with like armrests in like a theater or whatever. Except you're usually on a plane for longer, and when you're watching a play, you aren't really worried about armrests. So it's difficult. What I've learned is that generally, and this is something that I do have to sort of think about sometimes when I'm on planes because I have horrid posture. So I like to slouch down and then use my elbows on the seat rest to like prop myself up. So like this, or if I'm like, reading something or looking at something on my phone or whatever, or I'll rest on like one armrest and look out the window if I have a window seat. In general, there isn't really a specific rule. It's just sort of if the other person is using, right? And I guess it's a little bit as to like just who gets to it first, because you can't just ask the random unless they're your family member, right? If you're flying with your family members, then like all
Take
our
all
Spread
the
it out.
armrests.
Just spread it out. Just spread
Lay
it out.
right
Just
on
spread it
all the
out.
armrests.
Uh,
It's
No,
all
you
yours.
just put a
I
ring in the
do.
middle
I
of the plane and start a
lean.
match.
But if you're flying with someone else, it is sort of like kind of who gets the armrest first, because you can't just ask some random person, "Hey, can you move your arm off the armrest so I can use it?" Like you wouldn't
You
just
just
say that to a
suddenly
random
push
stranger.
their arm over, just kind of like, just nudge them off,
Like,
No,
hey,
and you
no,
just
no,
smile.
I want this armrest now. It's mine. Move your nasty elbows. Like, so it's just sort of like whoever gets to the armrest first has it.
You see, but like in general, I would say that the person in the middle does get both, because the person in the aisle, you can go to the bathroom anytime you want. That's your advantage. You can go to the bathroom anytime you want. You can go get stuff anytime you want without having to like bother the other two. Like, hey, can you move? But the person who gets the window seat gets the window seat. They get the view. I don't really like the window seat personally, so I don't know what's so great about it. But whatever's so great about it, they get that. So the middle person is stuck. They don't get the window seat. They don't get to go to the bathroom whenever they want, and don't have to like ask a person like, "Yo, move out of the way so I can go and pee." So they should get both armrests at least, like, all right.
I would love it if you just complain, like if the person in the aisle seat, they put their arm on the armrest. You're like, why'd you get the armrest too? You already can exit anytime you want. You just like start like cry pleading to them. Why do you get both? I'm just like, geez, okay. It's like someone you don't know too. Like, okay.
I know. Would they like?
I
would they
mean,
request a
that you
different
get
seat?
both. You get
Uh,
both. They can't complain there.
They're just like, ha, first come, first serve. I got it.
Yeah. Also, with like I said, with this works more for a window seat because you don't want to be leaning too far into the aisle for obvious reasons, right? But if you have a window seat, it's you can sort of lean on to the one armrest you have. Like, you don't necessarily have to, like, sit in the middle with, like, an elbow on each armrest, right? You can sort of lean into, like, the wall of the plane and just use the one armrest, and then you don't need the other one anyway. Also, just briefly, I like window seats because we're talking about, like, contentious, well, they aren't contentious issues. But, like,
Controversial.
Not
whatever.
quite.
Anyway, things that we argue about. I disagree with Melanie on the window seat front. I personally like window seats the best. I mean, middle seats are never good, especially if I mean, they're all right if you're, like, flying with people you know and then you have a friend on each side. That might be nice. But if you're flying with strangers, you don't want to be sitting in the middle. Obviously. I personally prefer the window seat to the aisle seat because the plane flights I go on usually average like an hour and a half, maybe. They aren't too long because I'm just sort of like flying somewhere up somewhere to Washington. I'm flying to family and they're not like terribly far, so the plane ride won't be super long. So I just won't go to the bathroom on the plane. And also it's much sort of like when you're in the aisle seat, you still are sort of between the person in the middle seat and like whoever's walking down the aisle. So it still feels like you're in between two strangers, if that makes sense, right? Because you're right next to someone you don't know, and then you feel like your other side is just sort of exposed, right? I like the window seat because you're sort of in a corner, like, and I don't know, it might be an anxiety thing, but I like being able to like, I like having everybody on one side of me so I can keep an eye on everyone at once.
What are you doing? Trying to stalk them? Oi.
Oh,
No, I'm just worried. I worry.
Oh, shit. I just like the aisle seat because, like, my flights are usually to China, so it's like 13 hours, and I'm like, move out of the way, I need to go pee.
Wait, no. I mean,
That's fair.
I go on a lot of plane rides, and it really varies. I just like the aisle seat because my brother likes the window seat, and I don't want to argue with him over, and I can force my mom in the middle. Also, when you're in the aisle seat, when they're like leveling the plane, you can just walk around, see random people, and just talk to them. That's what I usually do.
Oh,
You're
I'm not
outgoing.
good at talking
Wow.
to strangers.
No, I'm not an outgoing person, but like when I do see them, I at least say hi, and it sometimes start a conversation.
I like to judge
Wait, do you
people's
just get up and
mimics.
walk down the aisle a little bit and go, hey, I like your hat.
Hey,
What are you doing?
No,
What are you
no,
doing?
no. Like usually they're like
Oh,
for like
ghost.
competition. Oh, they're usually for like competitions. So like there usually are.
I can't fix
No,
this. It
I can't-
sucks so
no.
much.
It looks like your face is photoshopped.
Just flashback, Mary, don't mind me. Oh, thank you. Continue, Seneca. I'm sorry.
Like I was saying, so usually I fly with like a bunch of other people I already know because it's like two competitions. So there's already a set amount of fences that you know. So I can easily just start a conversation since we know each other already.
Yeah, that's not strange. That's like, you know, when we flew to Sojourn, it's like if we were allowed to get up and walk around, you would just walk to wherever your other friends were sitting and like talk to them.
Yeah,
But we weren't
exactly.
allowed to walk around.
I just like yelled across like 3 rows and was like, hey!
You know what? I've probably done that before.
Alright, so moving on to a controversial topic.
Mine is what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? I think for me,
Wait,
You guys all got it from the website, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
I just
guessing
really
it isn't
enjoy this one.
controversial topics, it's more just like overall like weird
I mean,
questions.
it's not really well controversial, not necessarily. I think most of these questions are just debatable questions. This is something you can all debate about. So what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? In my opinion, I think almost all of them would be good.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
which
especially-
sport's the best drunk?
I think
Yeah.
all of like the sports that involve like super coordination, well, would be sort of amusing, wouldn't be quite as good because then you'd just be watching people fall down all the time, and that's funny but gets old after a while. I think the best sport would be something that involves a lot of strategic thinking and a dash of teamwork. So
Scrolling.
so something like, I don't know, I still feel like something generic like basketball, because I can totally see someone like passing to someone else and then just missing, right?
No, I like soccer because like the kicks.
What I was thinking was football because they'll try to attack horseback riding because they just fall off the horse.
That would be great.
So what you really need to do is you need to give the horses alcohol.
Oh, fencing,
Is that
that would be
a ride the horse
awful. Wait,
That would,
no,
they
people
would
would get
die,
hurt
would they
fencing.
not?
No,
Well, no,
actually no.
but-
Drunk fencing might actually be pretty fun, especially
Figure
Saber.
skate.
Especially Saber because they'd be like
Bowling
whacking
would
each
be great.
other.
I'd
I
say
want to see
like,
drunk bowlers.
like they just gutter it every single time. But so mine is
Wait, some sort of like wrestling or like
I would sing the song from Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu fighter.
no, but mine would be golf, just simply because I feel like normally I'm not really a big fan of it. Like most people I know, they're not really a big fan of watching golf just because it's more slow paced. So I just imagine people drunk while playing golf and they just miss it every single time, or they hit the grass, or they hit it and it goes like 5 feet out diagonally. Like
And
that
they're
would
like,
just be
"Oh,
more
yes,
like
that was
humorous
great."
than actual sport. So I would
Yeah, and there'd probably be there'd probably be a much smaller chance of anyone actually getting hurt from it too, right?
yeah.
So that'd be
What do
better.
you mean?
Unless
They're
they
drunk.
swing the club and it just flies and hits someone on the.
I feel like if you did swimming drunk, you might drown.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
don't
you
do
will.
that.
I
Don't do
want to see
that.
bobsled. Oh, I love. Have you seen bobsled failures? They look kind of like they hurt, but they are so funny. Where like they either run and they miss it, and they just kind of slide around, or like those are really fun.
Wow, it's very
Bodybuilding is a sport. Can you
I
imagine
don't know
drunk
if you
people
want to lift
posing?
weights while drunk. What if you just drop the weights on your toe?
That's true.
Yeah, that's
that'd
sort of like-
hurt.
There are like a bunch of really like technical sports like figure skating that if someone were drunk
I
it
was
would be
thinking
super
that too.
impactful. But then it would just be like the figure skater would just like run into the wall a couple times or fall down a bunch, which would be
would be
amusing
like,
at first, right? But then it's just one
then-
person falling down all the time, which kind of gets old after a while. Which is
Darts.
why I think big like different
Paintball.
sports.
But like
have,
that's just
Oh my god. Roller derby.
I'm making you guys do laser tag all together one day.
Oh, I'm
wait.
so
We
happy.
should.
Oh, no, you're
we should
fake.
do it
We should
drunk
do
as
laser tag.
well.
We should do. We're gonna go to Europe all together.
Drunk
Go get
dodgeball.
drunk.
I want drunk dodgeball. Drunk tug of war. Oh, I love this. I'm very happy. Bull riding. No, you just die
Drunk
immediately.
tug of war, like everyone just like falls over with like one slight tug. Everyone just
I
goes
know.
like dominoes.
It's just like nah.
Segway
Wait, but,
polo.
like,
Wait,
I-
what?
Wait, no, but like before you talk, it's a
That's a
mandatory
thing?
amount, right? But like, how much are we talking? Are we talking like blackout drunk? Or are we talking about like
No, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Like,
what level?
tipsy.
Like, just
Like,
tipsy or like
tipsy?
completely wasted?
We're talking about like the kind where you go and you just walk around and you're just like slumping over everyone like, hey, how's your day?
is it the one where you
pretty
like
drunk.
go up to a
Like-
fish and be like, it's a cucumber?
No, I just go to a fish and I'm like, how are you doing today?
I feel like it doesn't necessarily matter. It's just sort of like there has to be at least a little bit of alcohol. So the amount
gotta
of
be a
drunk
little
that
bit.
especially just different people in the sports could have could be different.
Scarier.
Roller derby drunk. How do we feel?
Yo, we speed
Yes,
it up. I need to
I
leave.
absolutely want that. I can't
yeah,
get
we
over
gotta wrap it up.
Segway polo. Yeah. Okay, wait.
Wrap it
So
up, wrap it up.
mine. I'm the last one, anyways. So, what do you guys think? What's the worst thing you can name your child? Like the worst name for your child?
It depends on your
I was
last
Poop
name.
nuggets.
Thinking about this.
You know the one that Elon Musk named his child after? That one?
Isn't it just X?
XAA12.
No,
I
it's
don't
it's
know,
a
but
whole,
whatever
it's a whole
teacher that
series
tries to
of
pronounce that
unpronounceable
as a
things.
as like a teacher, they
I feel
pronounce it
like-
and they look at the thing and they go, your last name is Musk. I don't know. What the
No,
first
I'd be just like Elon's kid.
I feel like
I was either
for,
after an object or maybe like but you could also do like a bad person like Hitler.
I think
those two.
oof. I think
Nugget.
the concept of this question, I suppose not the concept, but you know, it is a little bit odd because like I mean, you can think of a whole brilliant assortment of like just sort of like random nouns that you can name your child after that would obviously be like horrible and you shouldn't name a kid that, right? But it's like at that point you aren't even picking out a noun. It's like what's the worst word you can think of and then just calling someone that. So I feel like
Okay, maybe
might be
maybe to
better to find,
rephrase,
like
maybe it's like what's the name where if someone told you like, oh, my kid's name is blank, like you'd feel like so like the most pity. Like, oh,
I think it should be like actual things that could possibly be names. And I would say either like a very old timey name, and that isn't necessarily bad, right? That's just a little bit like your name is a little bit more old timey, like it's just not in fashion anymore. And so it might be
Richard.
memed on a little bit. But I feel like that would still be better than if you have one of those Karen parents who name you like a Bristolov or something like stupidly convoluted, like
I'm sorry.
Bristolov with 3 G's or something.
Bristolov? What the hell is that?
I don't know, something I came up with on the spot
I
that sounded
just-
like something a Karen
Just
mom would
really,
name.
really quickly,
That sounds
what
like
are
a
some
oven.
old men names? Like, you know, like girls with like Margaret and like all those old names, like Margaret and Shannon. No, not Shannon. But like, what are the old man names to that?
Richard.
Or like
Hubert. Richard isn't that old. Hubert is old. Or Herbert. Lots of H names.
Harold.
Yeah.
Harold.
The H names are going out of style. Oh no.
Melanie, what do you want to say?
we got one from our good old editor, and they said that like if the last name was Lester and the first name was Mo,
Oh,
Oof. Big oof. Like
Oh,
like stuff
those
like
are
that would
just
be
funny names,
awful.
though. You know what I mean?
It
No, but
depends
it
on
would
what
be
your
awful
last
because if
name
they read
is.
out, all right, okay, Stacy, whatever, Mo.
But usually subs only do the first name unless I can't pronounce the.
That's like when there was that was like when there was a that's like there was like this thread that was like someone named, I can't remember what their name, might have just been like Stacy Ingoff or whatever, and they were like, what should I name my child? And then someone was like, you should name them Jack, because
Oh.
so like I said, it depends on your last name sometimes.
Yeah, it really
Because that
does.
can
Just
make a
don't-
totally like benign name seem very bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what about just like the first name? Like, what's like the worst?
Yeah, just say like really bad people in history.